you could go to the dance with anybody in the whole world, who would you go with?
No one.
Nobody.
I don't go to dances. You
Okay,
know
well,
this.
I want you to come because I'm gonna go. So, like, who are you gonna go with?
You, I guess.
No, because I'm gonna have a date. I don't know who yet, but
If you have a date, then why do I have to go?
okay, if I put a gun at your head and I was like, you have to go to the dance with somebody or I'm gonna shoot, who would you go with?
I'd take the bullet.
Hey everyone, I'm Quinn Marie with Hollywood First Look, and today we are talking to the writer, director, and cast of the new film, Inbetween Girl. Thank you so much for taking the time, and congratulations on the film, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
You wrote and directed this film. Tell us a little bit about why you wanted to tell this story.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of like coming of age films and YA books. And you know, I was the kid who was like writing YA books late at night in high school. So I kind of just wanted to do my own coming of age story, but I wanted it to be kind of a little bit closer to real life and maybe a little bit more reflective of some things I went through and my friends went through.
And I thought that you did a really good job of showing the difficulty it is being a mixed person and not having to choose between, you know, this makes me feel more white, this makes me feel more Asian. Like, being a mixed person is an entity of its own. Can you talk about a little bit about like the struggles with that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I was very confused in figuring out my identity kind of growing up. Like, it's still something I'm working on. But it was really helpful to kind of talk to Emma while we were, you know, working on Angie's character and kind of talk about struggles we both had and how, I mean, Emma, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but Emma uses the word floating kind of to describe being mixed race. Like, you're really not touching down in either camp. And I think, you know, growing up, it was hard for me to feel a part of a lot of things. And I think that's kind of what Angie goes through.
It's actually interesting, when I joined the Inbetween Girl project, a lot of Angie's character, as it is now, had still not been developed. So Mei and I worked for about a year and a half to develop her together. We had a lot of conversations about our own experiences as Asian American women, and, you know, experiences of being an adolescent Asian American woman combined with that. So yeah, I think what Mei said about floating, which is a word that we've talked about a lot. I definitely feel that. I think especially when, like you said, when you haven't quite developed your identity as like a mixed person, because like you said, it's not quite just like half and half. It's like in a lot of cases, it's a completely different, separate identity.
And you said Liam.
I said your name because I saw you like 2 seconds before then.
Angie, it's okay. It's okay. You're not in love with me. It's really obvious because you're freaking out because you're not in love with me.
I feel like you're mocking me.
I'm not mocking you.
When you were reading the script, did you think that Liam was a good guy or a bad guy?
You know, I think like at the end of the day, Liam is a bad guy, but it's, you know, it's obviously more complicated than that. He has like this intense emotional trauma from a very young age, and he never, you know, has dealt with it. He grew up in a family with all boys. His mom is MIA since birth, and like he basically doesn't have any tools to deal with this pain, so he creates an ego to protect himself from that. And that ego is this hyper masculine, you know, boys will be boys attitude kind of thing that he embraces to like make himself feel like a big, strong man, like he should be. And that's where he ends up inflicting pain on other people. So it's like, at the end of the day, he has to take responsibility for his actions, but also it's like, he's a human being that is like kind of part of this culture. I mean, it's Texas, like, you know, I grew up in this culture of like, if you're a man, you don't cry, you know, get over it, grow up. That kind of mentality it's damaging.
This is something that I think every person, just anybody who looks ambiguous in any way, goes through, is the scene when Angie's talking with Cheryl's mom. And Cheryl's mom is complimenting her, but also being racist and objectifying her in a way. And the question she's asking, where are you from? That's very it's very trendy. Asian people, Oriental people are so beautiful. I wanted to ask, you know, Emma or Mei, what was it like highlighting that type of experience? Because it's a positive thing, but it's not a positive thing.
I'm not gonna lie, like it was very therapeutic getting the opportunity to like kind of write that scene, because I think we all watch it and we're like, Mrs. White is crazy, you know, but like Mrs. White doesn't see a problem with it. And I think that's kind of, I don't know, a big cultural like miscommunication going on, because I think there's also like, you know, some education issues, like when some like, you know, Oriental girls are so pretty, like, you know, an educated like person in race probably like wouldn't say that, but then it's like a lot of people haven't had that conversation yet. So I don't know, it was therapeutic, and it was a lot of fun. Jane Schwartz, who plays Mrs. White, really went above and beyond for that role.
Everybody, you can see In-Between Girl on South by Southwest online. I'm Quinn Marie, and you've been watching Hollywood First Look.